Well, I took a bite of chocolate and I climbed a mountain here, and I'm about to tell you what's going on. There's definitely some craziness here, but I'm definitely trying my best. So stay tuned. I'm going to tell you my story. I'm Dr. Dave, Microdose U.
Enter the world of magic mushrooms with Microdose U.
Hey there, welcome back. I am Dr. Dave, Microdose U. Thanks for being with me. This is a little bit of a continuation of the craziness that's been going on in my life ever since I got notice. We got to leave our house, find find someplace to live, possibly be homeless for a while. We don't even know. We don't know what's going on. But it's created more than just a funk of just moving. It's created some craziness. I feel differently. And it's not necessarily really good. So what I did today basically, see, my wife's out of town. And today basically, I ended up just almost staying home almost all day, just kind of doing nothing. I just couldn't get anything going. I ran a couple little errands, but I really couldn't get anything going. So after laying on the sofa for a while, I decided, okay, I got to get out. I got to do something. I'm going to take a little bite of chocolate. Of course, special chocolate. You know what I mean. Magic mushroom chocolate. And I'm going to go climb a mountain. So I didn't take too much. It was maybe a larger microdose, so I can definitely drive. It's not any more than that. So I'm very experienced with that. But I got to this area here, climbed this mountain, and set up shop here, set up my studio, and I figure I'm going to just tell you what's going on. By the way, there's a lot of beauty here. Let me show you. Leaves are changing here already. Can you see that? I hope you can. I just turned my. If you're watching this on YouTube, that is. If you're watching, if you're listening to it, you can just imagine how beautiful these leaves are starting to change here. Anyway, I feel like I just want to be alone and not really talk to anybody. And so since I'm doing this podcast, you think I'm like this really extroverted, outgoing guy, full of conversation all the time. No, sometimes I just need to be not talking to anybody and just be by myself and think thoughts. And I've been like that for a long time. But so 2 nights ago, there was a band playing in town, and I decided, like I said, my wife's out of town, so I decided I'm going to go by myself. So I walked to the venue, did quite a nice microdose, large. I say larger than a microdose, and got there, sat down, and this nice couple just started talking to me. Now remember, I wanted to be alone. I brought my journal. I wanted to think. This couple started talking to me before the band started, and 35 minutes later, they're still talking to me. Now, they didn't do anything wrong. They were like super nice, really nice people, but I wanted to be alone. Why do people always want to talk to me? I'm starting to get fed up with this. People always like gravitate towards me and want to talk. I don't know what it is. I don't think this happens to other people as much as it does to me. Even when I went into the bathroom, at some point during the show, there was this guy next to me. Now, I do not like this. I just don't talk to people at the urinal. I don't start making conversation with people. I'm sorry. But this guy said something to me. And I just tried to ignore him. I just didn't want to talk to anybody. And so after he finished peeing, he said something else. And I don't even know what he said. But I said, right on, or like, good job, or something. I don't even know what I said. And he then became adamant and looked at me and like almost wanted to start a fight. He said, "What'd you say?" And I said, "Hey man, hey, come on. I don't know what's going on. Am I attracting weirdness? I don't know." Then I went again last night. The same group was playing 2 nights in a row. So I said, "What the heck?" I did a larger dose, and don't worry about me because I walked to the venue. It's about a mile away, so I just walked. So I was okay. Sat down by myself again. Wanted to be by myself. Brought my journal. These 2 older gentlemen sat down right smack next to me. It's general admission. They could sit wherever they wanted. They sat right next to me. And sure enough, the guy next to me would not stop talking. And I don't know. I wanted just to get the hell out of there. I didn't know what to do. It was like, I felt he was like invading my space, and I didn't invite a conversation. But it also has a lot to do with the state of mind I've been in lately. I mean, would you want, if you're by yourself and you want to be by yourself, do you want people to come up to you and just incessantly talk? I think this should be our choice. Looking back, I should have walked away. I should have just gotten up but I didn't do it. Sometimes I'm too nice of a guy. I don't know what it is about me, but I let him keep talking. That wasn't a good thing. Trust me, it was not a good thing. I got no benefit out of it. It just took away from my time that I really wanted to just sit and think. So 2 nights in a row, I was like disturbed by people that seemingly weren't doing anything wrong. They don't think they are, but in my mind, I wanted to be by myself with my journal, with my mushrooms, and it didn't work out at all. I told you in the last episode I might just go to the desert, but I didn't make it to the desert. I might go next weekend, but I didn't make it this weekend. But this is about as close as I can get to like solitude now, because nobody is going to come up and start talking to me here. I almost guarantee it. There could be other hikers on this trail, but nobody's just going to strike up a conversation. That's just not going to happen. So I don't know. It's a weird state of mind I'm in. But then I did have a little bit of time to contemplate last night when I was at the show, when I could break away and be by myself. I had a little bit of time, and I thought to myself some really good things. And the really good things, and I think I may have shared this with you 2 years ago because they came back again very strongly again. The 2 things were, I am exactly where I want to be in my life. I'm with the perfect mate, perfect soulmate. I'm living in the place where if I could choose anywhere else in the world, I think I would choose here. I'm living where I want to live. Nobody's making me stay. Nobody's making me leave. I can do whatever I want. But I'm in a place where I just absolutely love. I've got the right amount of money, and what that means is I'm not wealthy. I'm not super wealthy. But I'm not poor. So I'm like right in that sweet spot, I think, where I have to think. If I'm going to like buy something, I do have to think a little bit. I can't just indiscriminately buy whatever I want. But I can buy things that I want, if that makes sense at all. I think the universe put me in the perfect spot. I have to be really thankful for this. And that's after that bozo guy left me, after I walked away, I ended up walking away after, I was able to spend some time with myself. But I wanted to spend the first 45 minutes before the band started. I wanted to spend that time, that's sacred time for me. And I've talked to you about this a lot in previous videos. I love going to a show, sitting there by myself with my journal, with some plant medicine and thinking and deep thinking. I love it. And when somebody comes up and invades my space and thinks that they can just talk to me incessantly for 30 minutes, I think that is wrong, come to think of it. I think it's wrong. You can't just do that. He doesn't know anything about me, what I'm going through, but he starts ranting and talking and nonstop. He was a nice guy, but it was ridiculous. It was now that I look back, totally ridiculous. And I did not accomplish everything I wanted to, although I did accomplish realizing that I'm in the perfect spot for myself because, again, perfect soulmate. I live in the perfect place that I want to live. I've got the right amount of money. Not too much, not too little. I've got the right amount of money. Somebody blessed me with this. Somebody absolutely blessed me with my life, and I have to be super appreciative. And then I started thinking a little bit deeper. I started thinking, there is probably a reason that we have to get out of this house. I don't know what the reason is, but there's probably a reason. And the universe, again, is sending a signal by the way of my landlord saying, we got to get out. Maybe that's a really good sign. Maybe there's something, I don't know, again, we were just renting this house, so maybe there's mold. Maybe there's some kind of toxin. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe it's going to fall in. I don't know, but something in the universe is asking us to leave, and it's stronger than the landlords. The universe is asking us to leave, and the universe, I believe now, is going to find us a perfect place to live, just the right place. So I'm feeling better about this now. However, I'm still in a really weird space, and I hope to be able to come out of it, and I think the mushrooms are going to help me come out of it. But I will tell you this hike really helped me. It was not a long hike up this hill. You probably can't see, there's a trail right there, but it was a non-stop uphill for about 1.3 miles. Not easy. Non-stop uphill, there's no resting. I mean, you can stop and rest, but even when you rest, you're gonna continue uphill. There's no leveling off. There's no downhill. Now there's going to be a downhill because I'm all the way up, but it's fairly moderately steep uphill for 1.2 miles, and it's absolutely beautiful. There's a reward here. So getting out in nature. I've talked to you about this a lot. Getting out in nature, moving your body. Because I had the option of just staying on the sofa and just vegging out and doing nothing at home. But I guess the mushrooms told me, I've got to get out and move my body and do something, because staying home and doing nothing is not going to do me any good. And then before I know it, a few hours are going to go by. It's going to be time to go to bed, and I will have accomplished nothing. So this is a great thing to get out. So I'm going to recommend, if you ever in some type of a funk, you're just not feeling right. Now, we all go through this. It's okay. We all go through it. But get out in nature. Do something. Move your body. Move your body to the point your heart rate goes way up. Not just a little stroll is better than nothing, but work your body. Work your body. Your body wants to be worked. Work your heart. Work your cardiovascular system. Work your muscles. You've got a beautiful body and it wants to be worked. So please, this really helped me, because I will tell you, an hour and a half ago at home, I was feeling pretty shitty. And I overcame that because I said, look, I could continue to feel shitty here, or I can get my butt out of here, get in my car, drive to the trailhead and take a hike. And that's what I chose to do. And it's absolutely beautiful. The sun's starting to go down now. The leaves are beautiful. They're changing. Here it's just the end of September. They're already changing it. We're getting fall colors. It's just, so I appreciate all of this beauty and nature, and I think it really lifts me up quite a bit. But still, I'm in this weird situation where I want to be alone. Now, if my wife were back in town, that's a different story. I always love to be around her, but but even with her, sometimes I still like to be alone. I hike by myself sometimes. I go out by myself, because I think that's really healthy. We don't do everything together. And she does stuff by herself or with somebody else. I love, even when she's in town, I love doing stuff by myself and just being a loner and being in solitude. Again, everybody thinks that somebody that talks in a podcast all the time must be an extrovert. This guy must love to hang around a ton of people. I don't. I really don't. I can hang around people for a short burst. I can hang around one person, one-on-one, better, but a group of people, get me out of there. It sounds really weird, doesn't it? But that's my makeup. It's the way I've always been, and I don't even want to change it. I don't care. You take me to a party, I will last 5 to 10 minutes. Now, I go to a concert where a band is playing or music is playing, and it's okay because I don't have to talk to anybody else unless they come up to me and monopolize my time, like happened the past 2 nights. But I usually go not to talk to anybody, to be in my own space, in my own head, and just let the music do its thing, and also the plant medicine. Let it all do its thing, and it's wonderful. Until somebody interferes. And I do get upset about that when somebody interferes with that, because that was not my plan. My plan was not to have this guy sit right down next to me and start talking for 30 to 35 minutes before the music started. That was not my plan, and I'm still pissed off about it. But I can smile now because I'm on the mountain. Okay, I really hope this helps. Again, I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know what we're going to do. But I feel somewhat better knowing that the universe does have a plan for me to live somewhere. And it's probably going to be better than we are now, but I don't know for sure. But I feel strongly that the universe does have a plan for me. So that's making me feel a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to take a break because somebody's coming by here. Hi, how you doing? Hi. Okay, now if they would have stopped and talked for half an hour, I would have been really pissed. That would have been a beautiful video, right? Or beautiful episode, because here I am telling that somehow I attract people that just want to have long conversations with me. That would have been funny on the trail if somebody did that. That would be poor etiquette, I think. You don't just stop and talk to somebody. You say hi. You say, "Hey, beautiful day, good hike," but you don't start to talk to somebody for 30 minutes on a trail. You just don't do that unless both parties really want to do that. So that's my story. I hope this helped you in some way. At the very least, it let me vent a little bit. And by the way, I'll try to get to this next week. But your emails and messages have touched my heart after the last episode about how I've been feeling. I've gotten so many emails, so many messages. I read every single one. I try to respond to all. Sometimes I might miss some, but rest assured, I read every single one, and each and every one touches my heart in a very special way, because I know I've got nakama surrounding me, and that's a major thing for me, especially at a time like this. It really does help quite a bit. I got a couple weird ones. Maybe I'll try to read them next time. A couple weird messages, but if I remember, I'll read them to you next time. Okay. Remember, check the show notes. I've always got links in the show notes to further your education here. My website, microdoseu.com, Microdose U, just the letter U, microdoseu.com. And we have a coaching page up now. You can work with us at Microdose U one-on-one. We can get your life back. We'll do it. I promise that. I'm in a little bit of a weird, but in all in all, 3.5 years, it's been absolutely phenomenal. So you have to give yourself permission. You have to give yourself permission to get into a little bit of a slump sometimes, just a tiny slump. Give yourself permission. It's okay. You're going to come back. I know I'm going to come back stronger than ever. I'm positive of that. So that's why I feel pretty good about this. But it's still difficult at times. It really is. I don't want to minimize that part. Okay. Love you. Dr. Dave, Microdose U. I'll definitely talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for being with me today. I really, really appreciate your energy and support. You don't know how much it means to me.